Time is running out. Time is super short. Saudi Arabia, Egypt and the Gulf states should be allied to Israel. Now, we thought that could never happen. Surely not. But the Bible said it would. Sheba, Dedan, they are the moderate Arabs of the Sinaitic Peninsula, of the Saudi Arabian Peninsula. And the merchants of Tarshish, Britain, with all the Commonwealth countries, Australia, New Zealand, you name it, they shall say, out they'll come to take the spoil. They'll oppose Russia. So here it is on a map. There's the Sheba and Dedan. There's Tarshish. Australia's a bit off the side there, but anyhow, the Lion powers are there. The Commonwealth powers are there too. So we can see that's happening. How did it happen? Trump came to power last year, and the first foreign visit was there to Saudi Arabia. Went over and spoke to 33 different countries, most of the moderates allied to Saudi Arabia, particularly the Gulf state, the Saudi Arabian Peninsula states, United Arab Emirates, Oman, and so on, all came and listened to Trump. And Trump said, you should be worried. Iran is preparing for war. Iran is preparing to destroy Israel and you. You should be arming. He signed a deal for $110 billion of weapons to provide Saudi and that area with weaponry. But then he said to them, the weaponry is pretty sophisticated, you need help. And I can arrange it for you. Here's where I'm going to get it from you. He got on his plane and flew to Israel. And told the Jews, the Arabs will be allied to you, that's for sure, because they're afraid of Iran. Rightly so. We're going to give them the equipment. You need to be working as a team. And indeed, that's what happened. But let's go back a few years. This is where it was some time ago, enemies, just prior to the Six-Day War. There we can see Egypt, 100,000 troops in the Sinaitic Peninsula, 36,000 Jordanians in the West Bank, 75,000 Syrians. See, the Arabs were opposed to Israel, all of them. But suddenly it changed. Suddenly it changed. Immediately after Trump's visit. There it is. Leader of Egypt now, El-Sisi, meeting with Netanyahu. Publicly. Publicly. Staggering. Oman, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, all friendly with Israel. And didn't stop there. The new leader of Saudi Arabia also went on a bit of a trip and saw Mrs. Tarshish. Went over to see the Queen. Isn't that exactly what we expected? But yet you wouldn't have believed it. From the time of the establishment of the State of Israel, 1948, right through to, well, just last year, they're all antagonists. Not anymore. Through their fear of Iran. So things are changing. But what about Russia last year? Well, you see, we expect, don't we, that Iran, Libya, Ethiopia will be allied to Russia. That's what the scripture says. Doesn't it? Ezekiel 38 says Persia, another word for Iran, Ethiopia, Libya with them. All of them with shield and helmet. We read a few ticks ago, didn't we, in Jeremiah and Daniel. The Libyans and the Ethiopians shall be at his steps. So they're going to be confederates with Russia. Well, Iran's ominous alliance with Russia last year. February last year, late last year. Oh, the alliance had been there before, but now very muchly out in the open. Here they are meeting publicly. Leader of Iran, Putin. It has the potential to escalate the conflict in an already volatile area, said the paper. A British paper, Daily News. So Iran is the top terror sponsor and wants to grow more powerful, and Russia is helping. Staggering, isn't it? Well, not really, because we know. We know. We've been told. All right? So here's what the main problem is. A deal has been struck by Europe and all of these countries saying to Iran, if you don't develop nuclear weapons, we'll help you. We'll help your economy. We'll be really nice to you and things like that. Has it stopped? No way. Here are some of the bases where nuclear development is taking place, where they're producing the uranium-235, plutonium, the necessary materials for atom bombs. They are going frantically to develop it, putting all their effort into it. They had tried in times past, but at one point Israel stepped into the breach and blocked that, sent over a virus that knocked it all out, Stuxnet virus, but now they've recovered and they're rapidly going towards its conclusion. Not sure what's happening with this next one, but, oh yes, come out properly. Didn't show up here. Anyhow, it's a bit of an older one. Look at the date, but it's quite correct. Their claim is that once we get those nuclear weapons, Iran could destroy Israel in less than 9 minutes. They've got the missiles. Some of them are ICBMs, that is, intercontinental ballistic missile. They can go into orbit and come out wherever they determine to bring them out, so they could attack America with it, or even Australia. They are going frantic. Iran missiles could fly into outer space and then re-enter in at about 14,000 kph. They've got to get it slower than that, but they have achieved that. So you can see the world is in huge danger from that one country alone, but primarily Israel. Primarily Israel. That's their prime aim, the annihilation of Israel. But Russia's assisting them. They're an ally of Russia. But it didn't stop there. Last year, March last year, Russia invaded western Egypt. Went across the border there and then nipped over to Libya. Used it a way to get into Libya. There were two men controlling Libya. He was one of them. They supported this man and gradually took over control of Libya. So this man is now a firm ally of Russia and controlling the bulk of Libya. So here we can see it. Russian elite units land on Egyptian-Libyan border and then move into Libya. Took control. No surprise, is it, for us? Huh. We could have told them. Persia, Ethiopia and Libya with them, with Russia. And then, before the year was out, here's why Russia might set up a Red Sea base in Sudan, and they did it. They finished it. There they are. They built an alliance with these countries, here Ethiopia and Sudan. And if you look at the scripture, Russia, Ethiopia, Libya. The word Ethiopia is the Hebrew word Cush. And Cush refers, in the modern sense, more recent times, to in this particular area. They moved from Iraq in many years gone by, down along the Persian Gulf into this area here. So it doesn't just stop at Ethiopia, it's Ethiopia, Cush, that territory there. And in that area, Russia now has military bases. Think of it, brethren and sisters. There we've got another clue, that time is short. There we can see Israel, allied to the right countries. Russia, allied to the countries the scripture said perfectly